What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Hey Babe, Can We Talk? With me, your host and bestie, Drea Renee. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the place for the hot mess expresses, the black sheeps of love, and for those who just can't seem to get it right when it comes to matters of the heart. I am you, you are me, we are one, and if no one else gets you, I do. And if you're returning, I missed you, and we're gonna have a great episode. On today's episode, we have magnetic matchmaker, relationship expert, Spicy Mari here with us. It's gonna be a great episode. We're gonna be talking about how to keep it spicy in your marriage or your relationship and communication in the bedroom if things aren't working out. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe, and comment down below, because I'd love to hear from you. And without further ado, let's get into it with Spicy. Hi. Oh my God, so glad you are finally here.
We did it.
We go way back.
Oh, whew,
AfterBuzz, yes. Black Hollywood Live, and you have been killing it. First of all, I just want to say I'm so proud of you. Honestly,
I'm proud of you. Like the fact that we have like kept this going strong, and now we have our own podcast. Like we started together on one. We've come very far now producing our own projects. So love that you and I did not give up and we kept going.
I know we kept going, and a lot of people quit, and we said, you know what, we're gonna keep doing this, and we're making it happen.
Yes.
And you were killing it in the relationship space. I know all about you, but tell my viewers a little bit about you and what you've been doing.
I am Spicy Mari, relationship expert, magnetic matchmaker, founder of the Spicy Life relationship consulting firm, where I help you attract and retain your purpose mate.
Ooh, your purpose mate. What does that mean, your purpose mate?
So there's different lovers and partners that you'll have in this lifetime, right? Based on the season that you're in. I think that there is a certain group of people who require a purpose mate. It's that person who is going to elevate you to the next level, next level of your life. They're going to help you ascend to walk in your purpose. And so this is the person who uplifts you. They're on they're aligned. They're on the same page with you. They take you to that next phase of your life where you are not only walking in your purpose, but everything that you do using your gifts and talents essentially are for the kingdom of God.
Oh my God. And are we marrying our purpose mate? Ideally, right? Like, where are you?
Want to marry your purpose mate, right? Like you can have a soul mate, and that's like a very like deep love, like, our souls connect. But a purpose mate is essentially like you make me the best version of myself.
That's who I want to marry.
Yeah. I mean, that's the goal.
What do you think about the twin flame? Is that different?
So
soulmate, twin flame?
So you can have a twin flame, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's your purpose mate, right? Like that's like next level deep connection. You and this person may not work out for whatever reason, like timing was off. You guys had to go your separate ways. Maybe that person, wasn't mature enough for you at the time. But that like magnetic connection that you guys felt is always burning.
Right.
And so while I do believe that you can have that, right? I think that there's been people in my lifetime that I've probably been like crazy for.
Girl.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are the most compatible. And so it really, when it comes to your purpose mate, that is really about like this person, like, my life transforms with them.
Ooh, this is grown people stuff.
It's grown people.
Yeah, I feel like when I was with my twin flame, my crazy twin flame, shout out to you. How are you?
Shout out to the crazy twin flames.
Right? It was chaotic, crazy, passionate, but it was not grounded in anything real. I was like, I can't life with this person. If something tragic happens, he's not going to be there for me.
Yeah.
Now the bedroom, he's there for me. Available.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Lose a job, lose a sibling.
Yeah.
Not the guy. Not the guy.
I recommend, because there's different types of like love that you can experience. What you're referring to is passionate love, right?
Yeah.
It's like that yearning, that burning, that, I don't want to call it dysfunctional, but
well, I will.
Essentially, some of the passion that you're experiencing is the lack of consistency. There's some dysregulation going on. When it comes to the type of love that you want to end up with, that's going to help you ascend, that is more companionate love. Companionate love is the person who is a companion to you. They want to build with you. They are your friend. You can confide. You can trust in them. Passionate love, you can't necessarily trust that person.
Right. But with that purpose mate, can you still have that fire and that like energy, or is it different?
So this is, and I love this question. Okay. I think that you have to make a clear decision on what you're going to prioritize, because what you're going to prioritize is what is going to drive your choices. And I'm a firm believer. Like other coaches may tell you different. I am a firm believer that if you decide passion, right? Okay, I'm going to go for passion.
Okay.
You are going to more than likely drive yourself crazy, because passion is an experience and an emotion that you can't maintain. You can't do it consistently forever. It's emotions are fleeting. They're up and down. It's a roller coaster ride. We get to a point in our life when we decide that we want a life partner, our purpose mate. We have to make a decision. When I get into a relationship with passionate love, is that healthy for me? Do I like how I show up? Do I like who I am?
I mean, does it really matter?
Or yes, it really does. The other thing that you have to look at is security, right? So you have to decide between passion and security. I'm going to go for security, and I encourage my clients to always go with security, because you can't necessarily teach and create. That's either you are either a safe and trustworthy person, or you are not. But if you are trustworthy and safe, if you are spicy, and you've taken my program, we can make the relationship spicy. Like, we can make the relationship passionate. We cannot make the relationship safe and trustworthy, because those aren't core values of yours. If you're not somebody who is honest, or, that operates from a certain moral compass, I can't give that to you, boo.
Right.
But passion I can create. I can have you dangling from a chandelier. I can have you on a nude beach. I can have us going, if we want to experience roller coaster ride of emotions, let's hop on a roller coaster.
Right.
But I need to know that you will always be there. You will be my rock, because life is going to throw so many crazy things at you that you want to know that you have that person, and that stability is there.
Right. Talk to me about meeting someone and kind of finding those signs that they are your purpose mate. Because I know for me, if I get the vagina tingle, all bets are off. I've lost my mind. I can't focus. And sometimes I don't actually want to even be distracted by that, because she has a whole life of her own sometimes. But what are the signs that this person is possibly your purpose mate?
So in order to, let's say, qualify, right? I like to resort to the pizza. Are you familiar with my pizza?
No.
Okay. So the pizza is an exercise that I give my clients, and that helps determine, is this my purpose mate, and is this person good for me?
Okay.
So a great pizza has crust, sauce, and toppings.
Okay.
But the crust is the foundation. That's what holds everything together. You got to have the crust.
Right.
So I always recommend that you write down 5 qualities of what you believe makes a good human being. Just 5 qualities that you believe makes a good human. Okay. The next layer is the sauce. This is how I need to be treated in order to be loved, in order to be the best version of myself, and to be able to fall in love and take myself off of the market and commit to this person. These are the 5 things that I need for treatment. Okay. The next layer is the toppings. These are the 5 things that I need to be sexually attracted to someone.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now I'm listening. It's been a minute, so I apologize.
But I bet I'm not gonna put you on the spot right now, but if I were to ask you, hey, give me the crust and give me the sauce, it's gonna take you longer than give me the toppings.
Amen.
And the problem is, in 2025, we are dating toppings as the priority, but toppings is not what makes a good wife or husband. Toppings is not what makes a life partner.
No.
Does there need to be attraction? Yes, which is why I let you have 5, but the toppings are interchangeable, because it's still a dang good pizza if you have that crust and that sauce there.
Okay.
And so the toppings, we can always we can work on the toppings. Like, if you were like, oh, I need him to dress well, or I need him to have a beard, we can fix those things.
We can fix those things that are fixable.
Those are fixable. What we cannot fix is him being a good human and the way that he treats you.
Right.
Like, you can guide him, but all 5 things are not, you can't guide to all 5 things.
I think you're right. People are definitely being led by the toppings.
For sure.
Especially right now, I've been online dating and I'm taking a break. I'm taking a little break. Mama can't take
Taking
a
a little
break.
break.
Taking a little break. But I was getting exhausted, because there's a lot of women that are offering the toppings very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's affecting how men are showing up online. They're like, well, where the toppings at, girl?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, hold on a second.
Yep.
Can we talk and get to know each other? He's like, yeah. We can do that after. And it's made things so difficult. What are your thoughts on that?
I wholeheartedly agree with you as far as how, let's say, sexual attraction being the number one thing, and the way that we are selecting our mates.
It's yes, no, sex.
There needs to be a form of attraction, I think, but men and women are very different. A man must be physically attracted to you in order to love you.
Wait, pause. Say that one more time.
A man must be physically attracted to you in order to love you.
To love you?
To love you. Dang. A man who does not find you physically attractive cannot be in love with you. You stand no chance if he does not find you attractive.
Okay.
None whatsoever.
Okay.
A woman, on the other hand, you can grow her love. You can earn her love through the way that you treat her. While there does need to be some form of attraction,
right,
you can show up with your strength, with your protection, with your leadership, right? With your guidance, like all of those things, with direction and vision and plan, like all of that, masculine energy.
Right.
And you can become extremely attractive to her. All of a sudden, you're like, you know what? I like a little mid-waist. Or,
You know what I mean? I don't
his
mind a little
balding
dad
isn't
bald.
that bad. I'll just shave his head. Like,
Exactly.
you will start to excuse some of the physical things
We do
because the way that they treat you and also make you feel about yourself.
Right. But men do not operate that way. They're not sitting there going, oh, baby, got a little extra loving. I love that. Like, hey, girl, what you doing at the gym at? Where the gym at?
I'm not saying that that he can't. He can be attracted to you. He can love you. You can lose some of your physicality that that he was initially attracted to. But I'm saying, as far as like him even giving you a chance, he will not pursue you. He will not hunt. He will not take a vested interest if that physical attraction is not there.
Dang.
It's a different level of wiring, which is why I feel like we have so much power that we aren't using accordingly or appropriately.
Ooh, elaborate on that.
If we know that if we know that we have the power to drive you, to motivate you, to make you fall in love with us, right? And it starts off superficial, then the thing that I need to withhold is some of the superficialness in order to grow the relationship. This is why the time that we invest in like emotional intimacy is so important.
Right.
Problem with where we have gone is we start with physical intimacy.
Yes, spicy.
I'm a huge proponent of we need to start off with emotional intimacy.
Right.
We go to intellectual intimacy. We have discussions around spiritual intimacy. We need to make sure that we're compatible recreational intimacy. That's like how we spend time together, how you court me, the activities that we do that we enjoy, different hobbies that we love. Do I like the things that you do, the things that you do? Because there needs to be like a level of admiration for your partner's interest as well.
Yeah.
Even if it's not time like spent with you. And the then we can go into and you can even find admiration in career intimacy, right? Or purpose intimacy.
Okay.
Which is like, okay, this person is in their pursuit or in their path and in their purpose, and therefore that makes them extremely attractive. I also am walking my purpose. That makes me. This is how we become purpose mates. But the sexual intimacy and us rushing to that before we've like experienced the other intimacies has messed us up.
I totally
because
agree
we get
with you.
attached based off of the sexual, and we don't know the person's. We haven't experienced financial intimacy, recreational intimacy, intellectual intimacy, emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy, all the other intimacies.
Yeah.
And my husband has a book right now, Marriage and Finances, and he is discussing why financial intimacy is so important in the relationship.
Is that what the book's called?
That's what the book's called, Marriage and Finances. But of course, I taught him intimacy.
Okay. We're going to link that down below, guys.
But it is extremely important because you won't believe how many people will sleep with you before they even know how you manage your money. They'll sleep with you, they'll fall for you, they'll fall in love with you, and I don't even know your credit score. And they're like, oh, but that's too private. That's too private. That's too intimate.
true.
You can't know how much I make. Okay, but you could be inside me.
Okay. But I can't be inside your finances?
Thank you.
Like, come on.
I can't be in your bank account, but I can be in your body.
Exactly. And I feel like for me, like all joking aside, yes, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. But like, it's been a minute because I do get attached, because I do have to take that space.
Yeah.
But I find that people look at me like an alien these days because it's not just like on the table right away, and I'm taking that space to get to know you. Now, it's a great filtering
This is new for
process.
you though?
No. This has been always. Okay. I have never been able to just like, hey, see you later. I tried it in college, wasn't for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not my thing. It's inside, and I'm like, I love you. I'm getting married. Where are you going?
But I'm saying, did you start recently taking sex off of the table? Because you know the power that it has over you.
No, it's been a while. Like something for me with that is like I take it very slowly.
Okay.
Because I know myself.
You know yourself.
I know myself
and that's
very
the thing
well.
is like you made those observations. You were like, hey, when I have sex with someone, I get extremely attached. I get more anxious. I get, I start inviting
phone
myself.
calls,
I start
I'm like,
popping up.
For real,
Girl, I've popped up before, okay?
Pop up real quick.
So when you know that about yourself, you have to now adjust accordingly, okay?
Exactly.
I don't like who I become when I do this thing that means a lot to me. Instead of devaluing sex, which we should not do, instead we should place it even on a higher pedestal and say that it has to be earned versus just given and handed out.
Right, exactly. And that's where I kind of come from. And I find that these men, I had a ton of conversations and they're like, oh, you don't know how many women will just send me naked pictures, get right into sexting. Because I think that if you do know yourself, some people are easily swayed. They get to see somebody cute or they get into that desperation mindset and they're like, okay, let me work it this way so I can try to get him.
Yeah. I think too, there's different seasons of your life that you're in, right? My advice is not for the person that is in their hoe phase or their promiscuous phase. Mine is for the like, you've been there, done that, now you're ready to be a wife. Which is a very different season, which is a different behavior, a different thought process. Right. And sometimes we have to be reprogrammed because what isn't working for us, we now have to like release.
Exactly. The 25-year-old Drea and the now Drea. It's like, these are different Drea.
Yeah, and dudes be in their feels about that. Like, oh, for real? Well, you know, I don't care if a dude's like, well, you smashed that homie 10 years ago and he didn't have to work that hard for it. Like, what does it have to do with the tea in China? Exactly. Like, I can't have standards?
Exactly.
These dudes really out here, like, will try to convince you to not have standards and that you're in the wrong for holding yourself to a certain caliber.
Exactly. What you bring to the table. Who do you think you are? All this stuff. And, you know, I talk about this a lot on the show that I feel if you are single right now, when you go on dates, there's a bit of a gender war going on because some men just feel displaced. You know, you were talking about the hunt earlier and then sort of that career passion that you can find from someone. You know, you're like a boss lady. You got your own stuff going on. How did your husband feel about that? Was that a thing when you first met him? Because, you know, some men are like, I want my wife or partner to be X, Y, and Z and all of that. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, my husband and I are so okay. I am the spice in the relationship, right? My husband is he's in finance, which, like, Lord have mercy, how did he choose me? I like to spend. Okay, you like to make money, but he is like, he's very like left brain. I'm right. And I think that what he found with me was what he was missing, right? Like the balance of passion, the balance of creativity, like I bring the flavor to his life because he is so security, stability, like drive. But one of the things that he asked me early on when we first started dating was like, I think second date, he was like, what is your definition of success? Ooh. And he was looking for, through that question, which some people might be like, oh, that sounds kind of interview style. What he was looking for, though, was like what are the things that you have defined in your life that you clock as success? Okay. And then moving forward, what are the things and the milestones that you want to hit or your goals? Because if they were all, I know, he's like, he was looking for a wife too. Okay. But what he was trying to clock was like, my threshold of like happiness and, you know, and satisfaction. And if it was like these crazy standards of like, you know, well, I don't see myself successful because I don't know the yacht yet, that would have been a red flag to him. Okay. Versus like, well, you know, being the first to go to college or, you know, getting my degree or, you know, like explaining to, you know, I started my business, those kind of things. He's like, okay, great. And he didn't care about the number or the zeros behind what I was making. Okay, my husband was very particular about how do you spend, not how much do you make.
I love that for you.
Because how I spend, he's clocking it, and every man does this. How you spend your money is how you're going to spend mine.
Oh, okay.
So he was clocking that. He was looking at, but he didn't. I didn't need to be making like six-figure. Like I wasn't there yet. He was more looking at, okay, well, how do you invest your money? Where do your resources that you do have go? Right. I think though, he didn't bite off more than he could chew. He rose to the occasion because he knew I was high maintenance. He didn't know the maintenance. The maintenance was maintenancing. Okay, I was like, well, you see all this hair, you see this skin, like, right. Sis needs an allowance, okay? But not every girl should be coming like that or like have that. I'm a very specific like type of woman. Yeah. I help a very specific type of woman. So
this needs an allowance. I love it.
But he even like had us in on business and be like, okay, well, if you want this allowance, what do you feel like you are doing to earn that? What do I need to see some growth over here?
How did you feel about that question?
What are you doing for the allowance?
Yes. Some women get like what did that bring up?
It instantly went into defense mode because I was like, well, I've always had an allowance. Like that's because this is my standard, right? And I know that sounds crazy to some women who have never experienced that or who may tell you that they don't need that. That's their standard. I have mine. And not every single one of my clients even requires that. This is just spicy Marty standard. So I needed an allowance. And so he was like, okay, sorry, like that's not going to work over here if you're already like requiring this thing and we haven't even established like a close enough relationship. So it was more of him having to see like how I budget, how I spend, and that these are the expectations that I have like when I'm dating someone, and this is the maintenance that I have, and this is actually where like I need you and I need help. So there was a little bit of vulnerability involved. And
I love these
also conversations about how I am going to grow my finances, right? Because I over here also telling him I have all these relationship goals, and he was like, well, how are we going to hit these? And so how are we going to hit these financial goals?
Where did he come from?
He consults for a living. So like for him, it was very much like, okay, well, if you say this thing, how are we going to get there? Let me see the plan. And then he would strategize with me. Even from building the spicy life, he was like, I see you getting clients, but you're not like maximizing your abilities. You're not like elevating. And he brought my business to the next level.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. I'm listening and I'm just like, because, the men that I've been interacting with, there's been a few that trickle in there with this kind of energy, but most of them are not.
But I had to go through, I had to go through certain seasons in order to appreciate, because somebody else might be intimidated by that. Somebody else may be like, wait, this is next level, and run from it. So it really is about what season of your life that you're in.
Right.
And I had decided before he even came that this is that I wanted. I believe that there's different archetypes in men, right? There's king, warrior, magician, and lover. It's an actual book you can look up. But I also believe that there's like hero. And so for me, I knew that I needed hero. And in the sense of I can be all over the place and crazy. I need someone to like create stability for me. I need someone to like bring me back in and get me out of my head and help me create a path. And he would call himself a driver. Like if there's an assessment that his company gives, but he would call himself a driver.
Okay.
And so he is somebody who's gonna like hear this and then like help you map it out.
Okay.
Different people that I've dated though, my energy would be a turnoff for. Different people that I've dated wouldn't be able to handle me, or
was it too much for them?
I can be a lot. I am a lot, right? It can be too much for the wrong person. But for the right person, the right person is going to say, ooh, I can manage this energy. And his best friend told me early on, if you can manage being with a man who talks more than you do and believes he knows everything, then you can handle, like she was talking, like you can handle my best friend. She was talking about my husband at the time. And I was like, oh, I love these things about him. Like, I love a know-it-all. I know how to manage that energy.
Yeah.
Affirm. So so I was like, great, let's go. It's go time. So we made it work, but we were both in the places in our lives where we were able to fit those pieces to the puzzle.
Right. What I'm hearing is that you were very clear about what you wanted. And I think sometimes people are dating without that clarity.
Yeah.
And then you're just bringing all this random energy into and not being discerning.
Yes, and anything that wasn't that I released. So in the interim of deciding like I'm ready to be a wife, I released anything that I caught that didn't resonate with, and I had conversations with God about it as I was dating. Like, Lord, I'm listening right now. Like, I know I didn't before, and it got me in trouble.
I was doing my own thing.
And I was at the pulpit crying to the pastor that, please heal me from this man. I don't want to go back there. So help me in my discernment and in my clarity with the men. And so I would release anyone that was not aligned with my purpose. And my husband came along and was like, let's do this.
I love that.
Yeah.
So when I would get into the marriage aspect, the sex aspect, people who are sort of like, the spice in their life.
I didn't have sex with him right away. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I was like, it didn't sound like you did from what you were talking about. Right.
I learned my lesson early on, though. I learned that early on.
Yeah. I think it's so important, but everybody's doing everything backwards. And, no shade to some of my girlfriends, but they don't have the same idea around sex. And I was like, just hook up with them, babe. That's the only way you'll know. And I'm like, I'm so good. And I'm letting you know.
Yeah.
Some of these friends I've been friends with for over 20 years. I'm like, you know me. You hold my hand. And I'm like, I love you. So I'm like, I'm not trying to do all that.
So you're an anxious attachment style. Okay.
Yes. You look up anxious attachment style. There's
like
me.
Your picture.
Exactly. It is right
How
there.
did your parents love you?
Dad wasn't always around.
Okay.
Mom, super hands-on, super loving. But dad was like gonna show up, didn't show up.
Okay.
Said he was gonna show up, wasn't there.
Okay.
We're working on a relationship now. Shout out to you, Dad. But back then, Dad was a little bit young and didn't know what he was doing.
Okay.
So it was always like, what ended up showing up for me was looking for that love in my partner. I'm like, I don't know you, but here's my baggage. Can you fix it?
Yep. Yeah. I went through my cravings. I went through my craving stage. Definitely went through that. That energy didn't serve me. Went through my wounded state. Like, there's so many levels and layers. It'll all be in the book.
Yes.
But I do think that you sometimes have to experience all of these things. The problem is not everybody gets out. Right. And we stay too long in certain seasons that don't serve us. And then we look up and we're like, oh, crap.
Right.
Now what? Because I missed a lot of windows. And I don't believe in the it's ever too late. I do believe, though, that we got to get the mindset and the values like on point. And
because it presses at you. You wake up every day, you're looking at your partner. Internally, you're like, this is not working. But I think people get afraid to get out there because, I mean, it is a little wild out here. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? But it is. It's scary. And so you're like trying to get to know people and people's mindsets around committing, you know, especially in the city a little bit. It's, you know, it's not always great.
But we have these conversations early on and then we look for evidence early on. I think that's a huge part of like what my clients experience is the like, well, we want a commitment. Okay, well, when do you talk about whether he believes in commitment? And they're like, well, I don't want him to feel like I'm thirsty. Girls, that we're going to find out 3 months later that he doesn't believe in commitment and you have already done all the things and cooked and, you know, like served him and fell in love, you know, like, no, we don't got time for that.
When do you think you should have that conversation?
Early on.
Early on, right?
Early on. So first couple dates should be like about childhood memories, positive, fond experiences that you had growing up with your parents. What does your relationship look like with them? What do you love about relationships? What do you appreciate about women? Right. I think
that's a good question.
You finding out, like, does this person want, you know, companionship, or do they actually have like a deep love for the female species? Like because a lot of men are hurt out here and some of them haven't even had all these experiences. They're just buying into the propaganda and the message of what the, you know, culture is saying. And that hasn't even been their experience.
I dated a guy like that, undercover, had no idea. Then he started saying little things about women because we didn't have that conversation. Right. But in hindsight, I started going back and I was like, dang, he said this and dang, he said that. And I was like, you don't like women. Yeah. And it was definitely coming out in our relationship.
And you can feel it. You can feel that. But a lot of women who get to a certain point in their lives have had negative experience don't like men as well. They like know they want a husband, but they don't actually love men with all their heart and soul. They don't understand the purpose that they have in their life. I think a lot of women are lost in that. They don't understand the benefits that come with loving and having a man in your life.
Right. I absolutely agree with you. I think a lot of people are lost in like what it really means to be in a relationship. Like you were talking about with your purpose mate and getting caught up in that soulmate, twin flame energy. And if it's not that, then they think that's not my person. Right? So when you do find your purpose mate, you're in your marriage, you're doing your things. One of the things I want to talk about today is how to spice up your sex life if it's not really working, right? So what are some tips to people that they're like, hey, babe, I love you, but we are in a routine. You do this, I do that, we do that. And we got to spice this up.
I've been there. So like, I did not think that would ever happen to me. I'm like, spicy's in my name. I run the spicy life. That will never happen. I have like throw dice and I have cards and I have all of the sex books possible. And I've interviewed every single sex bird on the TV. Like, and then it happened to me because body goes through life changes, esteem shifts, hormones, different milestones that you hit. I'm like, great, yay, now I'm a mom. And these responsibilities, right? I told you early on, I told him I had like all of these goals that I wanted to hit. Well, he's like, let's hit them. Then when you hit them, you're like, oh, but this comes with more work. Which means I'm more tired. So it's like the thing that you used to pray for, you now have, also makes you more tired and you're not paying attention to your relationship.
Right.
So what that looked like for me was I went back to therapy to regulate myself because I didn't know who I was and I didn't know how to like I wasn't able to use the tools in my toolbox effectively, right? I was able to share it with my clients, but then when it came to me actually processing and making sure that I articulated it, because I was so dysregulated and going through postpartum and stuff, I had to go back to therapy and I was like, I need help. Like, he can't be that for me right now. I need outsource. And like, my friends, I can't keep bothering them with this.
Girl.
I had to get back into my bag and get help. So went back to therapy, also needed to feel like I was accomplishing again because I had taken like some time off. enrolled in the courses and the things and the certifications, that I wanted to feel good about myself, made sure that I poured back into like clients, because that always makes me feel great. And also, once I felt good about myself, I then was able to guide his energy more effectively. The things that he was saying or that he was doing that was like bothering me at the time wasn't taken so harshly, because I was pouring into myself. Right. Second thing, though, I had to have a conversation with him about what empathy looks like now at this new phase of my life, what I'm experiencing, right? So that he can like create space for it. And then also, let's put sex and time together back on the like calendar. Because
literally on the calendar?
Literally on the calendar. So like,
yeah,
we had to figure out like, okay, because we turned into morning sex people, which I was always like a nighttime sex time person. But then because of convenience, it turns into mornings, and I was like, okay, like so we found like a healthy balance of like shifting between like times that he likes and times that I like. But studies do show, and I had to go back to like, what are the things that I know? Studies do show that couples who put it on their calendar, like it gives you actually something to look forward to.
Oh, because people sometimes take that the wrong way. Like,
argument
calendar
is
sex.
like, but I want it spontaneous, and it's like, but unless you are actively creating passion to evoke spontaneity, it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
I'd rather it happen than not happen.
Exactly.
And then it was giving us something to look forward to. Like we were like, okay, you know, what's this coming up? I'm like, let me go on and get my little laser treatment. Let me make sure, you know what I'm saying? Like I smell good today. Like, because I needed to make sure I was just like, and I know it sounds calculated, but like because we were so busy and we have travel schedules and, you know, family now, being intentional about it. And then also like, hey, I need quality time with you separate from our child.
Oh, yes.
Everything turned into family vacations, and I was like, that's not gonna work for me.
Right.
I love my son, but that's not gonna work for me.
Right. Because at the end of the day, it's
I'm still momming when I'm on vacation. It's just literally just me feeding you applesauce in a foreign country. Sorry, we gotta go just you and I. So I made us add a couples, just him and I vacation to our calendar. So it also gives me something to look forward to with him. Like I have to be motivated and have something to look forward to.
Right.
Or life sucks and I'm bored and what is the purpose here?
Right.
I'm done. Like I'm very dramatic. So
I remember. I'm like, we're the same.
Like you haven't changed that much.
We're the same, girl. But I think that's so important to look at that acceptance around scheduling sex.
Yeah.
So people have such a bad connotation about it. Like, oh, you've lost the lust, you've lost the passion. But it's like, these are parts of being in a real relationship with your purpose mate. You guys have goals. You're trying to achieve these goals. And your life is going to look differently sometimes. You got to put sex on the calendar.
You literally put sex on the calendar.
And the
and
communication around
your activities. Put your sex on the calendar. I think that one good tip that my husband gives in Marriage and Finances is put like a team meeting on the calendar as well. So like this is where we're going to like check in with each other. We're going to discuss like, are we on the same page financially and emotionally, and like go through like, okay, where are areas of improvement? It's kind of like a progress report. My son gets one for school, and so we do one in our marriage as well, and that has been extremely helpful.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times people aren't checking in with each other, and time goes by, resentments are building.
For sure.
Then something small happens, and you're angry about all these other things because you haven't checked in with each other.
Yep.
And the communication around sex is interesting too. So when your partner, say, does something you don't like, having that conversation is not fun. Like I've tried to be gentle with people. I'm so kind and loving, like, ooh, hey.
Give me an example of something you don't like.
So one guy was going downtown and he was just going a little fast. Maybe he watched too many videos, X-rated videos. And I was like, that's not what I like.
Yeah.
Right. So I had to have this conversation and I'm trying to show him physically like, hey, this isn't working. I'm not giving you sounds. I'm looking at you like, hey.
Yeah.
And sometimes I said, oh, hey, babe, is it possible that maybe we could do it this way? Because this is what I enjoy. Yeah. And he kind of gave me this look where ego was like, and he's like, well, no one said anything before. And then proceeded to continue, but with the attitude. And so those moments, then you're like, oh, I don't want to say anything.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, we're already here. We're doing the thing. Yeah. So I've already created these things with you. And now we can't communicate about sex. Like what? How do people navigate that?
Were you communicating in real time?
Yes.
Okay.
In real time.
So that's like one method, right? I think that you should always be like a study of. I feel like you should always be studying your relationship and your partner, right? Like how, not only what motivates them, but what triggers them. How do they react when I give constructive criticism?
Yes.
And so if the like in real time did not work, that doesn't mean stop communicating. That means try another method. So next time,
'cause I got an attitude. I was like, oh, okay.
I would have got an attitude too. But that if that method didn't work, right? Because I think I've given some constructive criticism in real time, and it did like do a little buzzkill, and so I clocked that, and I was like, next time we're gonna talk about this like over dinner, or like when we're just in a different environment.
Endure? Because then I don't want to go into that fakery zone. I'm just like, hey, why don't we
You don't endure.
pivot?
You try the communication. If they aren't receptive to it and they're not making the adjustments at that real time, right? I think I wanted like my ass grabbed harder. Like it was something simple.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was understanding like how badly I wanted it more grabbed. Like fucking grab me. Because he wants to treat me like a little precious flower.
And you're like, I don't want to.
I'm not a flower. Treat me like a hoe. So we had to have that conversation. That I'm like, you could be a little rougher. Like I want you to like really, really grab. He's like, I don't want to hurt you. I'm twice your size and I'm stronger than you. But you can't just go at it with the constructive criticism. Like I always say that you need to build like a spicy sandwich, right? So like we affirm them, baby, I love the way that you touch me. It feels so good. Like, oh my God, when you wrap your arms around me, it's the best. I would love it if you grab my ass even harder. Once again, baby, the way you sling that dick is so good.
Right.
It has to be like boom, boom, boom.
God, I always forget the sandwich. I go
know.
right into that middle. I'm like, listen. And I'm like, ooh, okay.
Because
okay.
you know why? To flip that switch, I think is challenging, especially when you communicate for a living, right? And you also pride yourself on being a assertive communicator.
Right.
And so when you now have feelings involved and it's not the direction of like being efficient for like work, you now have to flip that switch into like, okay, let me get in my feminine bag and think about his feelings. Because even though he's in denial of his feelings, we know big egos. You gotta, huge, ginormous, right? What's the Beyonce? He got a big ego. Yes. So it always has to be like petting the dog, always.
I have a really hard time with that spicy. I mean, the petting and
do you date confident men? Because you have to pet. There's no relationship without petting the ego for confident
like
men.
I can do it, but like if I'm doing it all the time.
No, it's like a full-time job. It's a full-time job. But you know what I compare it to? Getting with a pretty girl. You're attractive. He has to remind you that
That's true.
He
I do
thinks
like a
you're
little
the
compliment.
most beautiful woman in the
That
world
you've ever seen in your life.
And then you also want to know that he loves you for you and not just your beauty. So then you want to be balanced with like, well, now tell me what qualities you love about me outside.
I'm like, why do you like that?
Yeah.
Like, what's so good about that? He's like, Dre, can you stop? It's not bad. I'm like, babe. So I was thinking.
Well, so what makes me prettier? They're like, like, so it's the same thing. It's like everybody needs that affirmation. The way that you deliver it to men, though, can look and feel very different. I don't think that they're as vocal about needing it. I don't think that they get it as much. And so I think that when you are with someone who his esteem and perception can be affected by your outlook of him.
Okay.
You need to remember the power that you have.
Okay, spicy.
I can make you rise or I can make you fall.
Right.
What are the choices that I'm making today?
And what is my statement doing to you? Okay, fine. Pet. Anyway.
But I do think that the direct approach also, like, I do think that sometimes we do need to get a little extra spicy with it, right?
Okay.
I don't think that we use positive reinforcement 24/7.
Okay, because sometimes I'm like, I can coddle, because I love to be coddled.
Yeah.
Right? Like I love a little baby moment, a little baby talk. I'm so down for that. But it's like, I think when it gets into I'm becoming a character so you can like function.
Yeah.
That I have an issue with. I'm like, all right, babe, well, you suck. You gotta
So
figure it out.
you have to pick and choose when you're going to give that positive reinforcement.
Right.
I think that sometimes you need to show you're a little crazy, just every now and then.
I don't mind it.
Throw them off a little bit. But it can't be crazy 24/7.
Stop it.
Like sometimes it has to be like, oh, you're afraid.
Because if you want to,
You gotta put a little fear in their heart, just a little bit.
I agree.
Just to spice it up a bit, right? And then sometimes, and here's the reason why you have to be mindful of the ego. If you view them in a perception that they do not view of themselves, right? That is not positive. Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Let's say he thinks that he's an amazing lover or an amazing leader.
Right.
And you go and you tell him, hey, you're not the best leader or you're not the best lover. Like, let's just say you tell him, like, I need you to actually, like, work on this thing because it sucks, da-da-da-da. He's not listening to it as like, oh my God, you bring up such a great point. I need to work on my leadership. What he's hearing is, oh, you're crazy because I believe myself to be an amazing leader. And so now you're not motivating him to do the thing that you want.
The way you're saying it to them, the framing
of it makes you sound crazy because it is not a reflection of who they believe themselves to be. So you have to speak to who they believe themselves to be to get your way from them.
And what's the reframing of what am I supposed to say? He believes he's a good leader.
You start with what he believes.
Oh, okay.
Baby, you are a phenomenal leader. The way that you drive this relationship, woo! It takes me from 0 to 100. You know what I mean? Like, you come at it like that.
Sandwich.
Yes. Tell him what he believes out of so first.
And then go from there.
Because I know how much you love, getting it right and knocking it out the park. There's this other spot that I want you to try on my body that I feel like would really get me there. Are you down to, like, up your game a little notch or whatever. Are you down to make me bust even harder? Are you down to, like, whatever the thing is? Are you down to throw the trash more? Whatever the thing is. Because I'm like, sometimes it's as basic as, like, I just need you to help me do my son's hair in the morning. If you're watching this episode.
I love it.
I had a boy and then he came out with all my curls. But no, my husband has stepped up because I've been doing the thing,
the sandwich.
So now he's waking up early and he's helping me with my son. But, like, our son.
I love it.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
I understand what you're saying.
And I think the same thing applies to women. However, because we communicate more, we operate more in let's say bigger groups of and constantly giving, I feel like, feedback to each other.
Yes, all the time.
I think women naturally, we have more of a growth mindset when it comes to character building and when it comes to, like, our emotions and wanting to elevate in our lives. I think we're just more open to the self-help.
We can hear these things better.
We can hear it better.
Right.
We're used to also talking more to a therapist and then getting honest feedback, or talking to our girlfriends and getting that feedback.
Right. Men aren't doing that.
They're not as invested, I feel like, in the critique of growth for each other.
No, of each other, absolutely not.
Yeah, and so and then they just don't use as many words in a day that we use. And so we have to be mindful of, like, okay, I'm not talking to my homegirl, I'm talking to my husband. And although I may think he is like a bestie, he is still a man.
Oh, you're so right. Because I will be like, babe, guess what happened? Guess what he's like, okay, what is happening here? Drea, I can't. Is there a solution? I'm like, no, I just want to chat.
and look, I literally will start off sentences now with, like, okay, babe, I don't need problem solving right now. I need a friend. Or I will tell him, baby, I need problem solving.
Right.
What the hell do I do? Like, I will sometimes instruct him before I go into my story. And I usually now will just be like, do you want to hear the tea? And that lets him know I don't need solutions.
I remember I dated this one guy and he would say toolbox or popcorn.
Ooh.
Yeah. And before I started saying something, he's like, Drea, I'm going to stop you real quick.
I'm stealing that.
Yes. He's like, toolbox
or popcorn.
What am I doing? I was like, babe, this is a popcorn moment. I just need to, like, vent.
Love it.
I'm like, let me tell you what this hoe said.
And you be on my side about it.
And you be on my side, period. So another thing I want to talk about is fantasies in the bedroom.
Yeah.
If your partner brings something to you, because that's happened to me once, right? My partner brought something to me and I was like, I will never let you put that there.
Yes.
That is not happening for me. But then I thought to myself, because I was thinking maybe this was going to be a long-term partner, like long-term, like we're going to get married, do the thing. But I didn't want to take that from him. Mm-hmm. So it really put me in a tough spot because, like, I like to be loved and coddled. I like a lot of eye contact, you know what I mean? And so that's not what he was trying to do. You know what I mean? I'm like, at the time, I'm wearing my wig. I'm like, we can't be pulling on this hair like this. So you know what I mean? I was like, I could try to work around it. A little light pull, a little light choke. But that's all we're going to do. So, what in a situation like that, what's your advice? Like, how do you navigate, like, your fantasies may not be on the same page?
Yeah. I think you need to, like, assess, okay, why is this making me uncomfortable? Is this making me uncomfortable for vanity reasons? Is this making me uncomfortable for physical reasons? Is this making me uncomfortable for spiritual beliefs? Like, what is the reason that this request is making me uncomfortable? If it goes against your core values and you're like, absolutely not, that is off of the table, you have to be honest about that.
Okay.
If my husband didn't, but a previous man has been like, well, like, I'm here for a threesome. I'm like, sorry,
you're not the one.
100% off the table. Like I'm not the one or the two. And so you need to go get your new boo.
Right.
And so you need to assess the why, right? I have my reasons because I understand the complexities of introducing that into the relationship. I understand the health risks, also the relationship risks of like, and it goes against what I believe and what I value and I practice and I preach. So at the foundation of like, I believe in commitment. And so giving permission to not be committed, like there's so many reasons. And because it went against my values, I had to release. Now, what they will try to do is convince you why you're being a prude or why, you don't want to do this thing and why you should. If it's something that doesn't go against your values, though, I do think that we can be like open to it. If it doesn't go against your health, your spiritual, or I think that you can be flexible around it. If he wants to take off your wig, let him take off your wig. Okay?
Stop.
If he wants to mess up your hair, let him mess up your hair.
Right.
I would love to do it in a bonnet, but I know my husband doesn't like when I have the bonnet on.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
I feel you, girl. I feel you.
Because sometimes I'm like, listen, this is, because I date interracially, and sometimes, this is, I'm like, listen, this comes off. Like, what? I'm like, okay, you didn't date a black woman before.
Right.
Let me go ahead and take you through this course of my hair.
And we got to educate them. But like, I do think like, if it was something crazy, ridiculous, I want to put it in a new hole I haven't before. Like, and you're not comfortable with that. You got to 10 toes down and be like, no, I'm sorry. Like I can't do that for you. That's not gonna work for me. Can you accept me through this?
Exactly.
If you cannot, here's the door.
Here's the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people do start bending, especially with like the growing presence of online dating, social media.
Yeah.
A lot of people who were married a long time ago have allowed their partner to go explore. Like I have a couple of friends who've opened up their marriage and it's been quite the terms. For one couple, it totally worked out. Another couple, not so.
Yeah.
A lot of people, ethical non-monogamy, so much online. A couple's like, hey, you trying to join or what? And I'm like, I'm so good. Yeah, that's like a crazy thing right now.
I think that at the end of the day, because there is this constant battle between like, I need passion, but I also want security, right? Like you want to keep your person, but you also want to add some excitement to the relationship. You have to assess like at what cost? Like at what cost? What are the threats to this relationship if we open up this can of worms? And can we put Pandora back in the box? Because if not, then it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Exactly.
There's no orgasm that is worth me destroying my life.
Amen.
Or your esteem.
What a great note. I love that.
Yeah.
No orgasm worth destroying yourself. It's so true, girl, because there's a couple times, I let that orgasm take me, and it was not worth it. It was not worth it. You know what I mean? Spacey, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
You've been
thank
so
you for having
amazing.
me.
Before I let you go, I'm going to have to ask you the umbrella question. This is what I normally like to ask people who are married. So if your husband is at your son's school, right? It's raining outside.
Okay.
He has an umbrella. He's waiting for Princeton to come out. And there's a lady who's standing there and she don't got no umbrella. Is it okay if he goes and lets her stand under his umbrella? Or are you like, no, you hold that umbrella and you leave it? What are your thoughts? This is like
it's raining on her head.
It's raining out. It's raining. She don't got an umbrella, but he got an umbrella.
I want him to let her use the umbrella.
Use the umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay. But what if she's like, let me come stand under the umbrella with you?
She can stand under the umbrella.
Okay.
She can stand under the umbrella.
Okay, because I've had some people like, I don't care.
I don't mind the standing under the umbrella because I would stand under someone else's umbrella.
To protect the curls.
To protect my hair. I might have a fresh press or the curly hair is going to get frizzy. Like, let me get under this umbrella.
Right.
And so I think that we're secure enough in our relationship that I wouldn't see that as a threat. I would be like, nope, you're saving her life. I think that's great karma. Someone's going to save me.
And my curls.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love it. Spicey, thank you so much for being here. Let everybody know where they can find you.
You guys can play with my Twitter, stroke my IG at SpicyMadi. Go to the spicylife.com. Schedule a consultation with me. Let me help transform your love life, help you find a husband, or save your marriage. I also have a podcast, The Spicy Life. And check out Sneaky Links on Netflix, where you can get some spicy tips as well.
Oh, thank you so much, Spacey. All right, guys, as always, don't forget this is the place where the hot mess expresses the black sheets of love. And until next time, this is Drea Renee. Hey, babe, can we talk? Bye.